Everybody involved failed Shandi. It shouldn't all be on Tyra because you're all complicit. It's really giving I made you, don't you dare define me. He was literally smiling throughout his interviews. He would do that again. For those that don't know who I am, my name is Anu, also known as My Name Is Anu, hence MNIA. I am a presenter, interviewer, content creator, vlogger, talk show host. I'm a jack of all trades. And today I'm here to break down and talk about the America's Next Top Model documentary that dropped on Netflix. So now that I've introduced myself, let's get straight into it. So I grew up watching America's Next Top Model. I remember watching in real time cycle 3 when Eva won. And a lot of the things in the documentary, I actually remember watching in real time. So seeing it now in the lens of an adult was really, really trippy. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, I remember what happened, when it's like, oh wait, this was actually really sinister and had a really dark undertone to it. So it was really hard watching this as an adult. Even as a child though, like, I knew there were certain things like the fat phobic comments from Janice Dickinson, things like that I just knew, oh, this person's really mean, this is wrong, this isn't nice. Even as a child I knew those things. So it just makes me wonder, like, all of the adults that were involved in production, involved in the editing, everything to do with the show at the time, you knew this was all wrong. You can't come and say that you didn't know, you knew. So like I said, obviously Janice, like, even as a child I knew that she just didn't appear kind on the show. And I made a TikTok about this as well, saying about how on the show she was a wicked witch. Like, she was the wicked witch of the West. Like, and now obviously as an adult watching documentary as well, like, I'm sure a lot of it was amped up. Like, I'm sure a lot of it was like being a character. People have informed me that there will be another documentary. This is actually Entertainment. They're doing their own I think they're doing like a series, and America's Next Top Model is one of the episodes of the series where they're exposing different things. We'll get more into that later. But yeah, so apparently Janice is going to be in that one, but she refused to be in the Netflix one because Tyra was going to appear in it. I really want to hear from her. I think it's because for me as a child, the way she would speak to them, even as a child, I thought, is nobody gonna talk to this lady? Like, it was really, really bad. If she was playing a character, it was unnecessarily cruel and super, super wicked. And I really feel like they had Janice on the show to juxtapose Tyra and to make Tyra look better. I think it was very much good cop, bad cop. Like, I think Janice saying these outlandish things gave Tyra the opportunity to now come and say her point of view, which I do believe she held. But I do think it's hard to agree with Tyra that she held these views, because you're saying that, you know, you created the show for people whose beauty isn't shown in like the mainstream media and in these publications. However, you came and perpetuated the same things that you were trying to avoid in the first place. Another thing to do with weight, like, there was a period of time when the press were really, really attacking Tyra because she had gained weight, and they were saying all these things about her, and she should know how it feels to have that kind of commentary on her body. But then she came and did the exact same things to contestants in the show. Like, again, a lot of this was really uncomfortable to watch. Speaking of uncomfortable watches, I need to say this very, very clearly. Everybody involved failed Shandi. She was completely and utterly failed. That is it. In the documentary, Ken Mock, and I quote, by the way, he said, America's Next Top Model is a documentary, so we wouldn't interfere with what was going on. That is complete and utter BS. I'm so sorry. The producers had a duty of care to protect those girls. Jay Manuel spoke about this specific topic, and he said, and I really agree with his point, he spoke about how the models barely had any autonomy in the first place. So for them to now invite the men over from the ghosties, who gave that sign off? Who said that that was okay? And then to make matters even worse, in the documentary, when asked about the Shandi situation, Tyra says, and I quote, I became a master editor, and yeah, we didn't put everything on TV. Did you think you did? Like, my thing is, like, did you think you ate? Like, do you want a reward for doing so? What you posted on TV was bad. You recorded what she went through and put it on television, saying you're a master editor. Do you think that what you posted was okay? Do you think the fact that it happened at all was okay? I don't understand. And to make matters even worse, you invite some of the models onto your talk show and you have a little reunion, and she told you beforehand that she doesn't want it shown, like she can't deal with it, like she can't watch it. You show it in front of everyone. She literally had her eyes closed. You're asking her why she couldn't watch it. Are there no... What we saying here? What we saying? What we doing? You're asking her why she can't watch her rebuke. Okay, I don't believe that Ken Mock was regretful or remorseful about any of it. I genuinely believe after watching that documentary, he would do it all again. If it meant that they would have the levels of success and notoriety and money, I think he would do it again and not think twice. He was literally smiling throughout his interviews. Like, he had little smirks and like he was smiling. He didn't look sad or ashamed. He would do that again. Right, let's talk about Tiffany. If you guys don't know who Tiffany is, if you don't know what I'm referring to, how about if I just say, we were all rooting for you. How dare you? Never in my life have I yelled at a girl like this. My mother yelled at me like this because she loves me. And there's a lot to unpack there, actually. So in the documentary, we have a lot more context into Tyra and Tiffany's relationship. We can see that Tiffany applied for America's Next Top Model before and she didn't get in, but Tyra mentioned that the team mentored her and still kept in contact with her after the show, and she was able to now come back on and then be a contestant. They had to do a teleprompter challenge. You can see that Tiffany was getting really frustrated because she couldn't do it. She essentially gave up and was like, I look stupid, like I'm not doing this. And you can tell that she has a lot of pride in the way that she's perceived. She didn't want to portray that she doesn't know how to pronounce things or she doesn't know like what's going on. And I feel like from someone like Tiffany, who again I'm assuming, but this is based on like the information that we're given, she comes from a low socioeconomic background. She is in this position, she's in this competition, and she doesn't want to embarrass herself. However, she's unaware that the rest of the models also have the same issue regardless of their socioeconomic status. Again, this is just my kind of like analysis on what happened. So when we saw Tyra lash out and say one of the most memorable, messy moments of America's Next Top Model in its history, I think it's because Tyra essentially saw Tiffany as kind of like a pet project. Essentially said that she sees herself in Tiffany, like she really reminds her of herself. You can see that Tyra took this very, very personally. She was very, very hurt by it. And I feel like when Tiffany didn't act or behave the way Tyra wanted her to, that's what caused her to lash out. When Tiffany and the other girl, I'm so sorry, I can't remember her name, got eliminated, Tiffany didn't cry. She, you know, tried to make it a bit lighthearted. She hugged the girl. She was like, you know, I'll see you on the way out. And then Tyra called them back and basically said to Tiffany, like, you're not taking it seriously. I fully hear where Tiffany's coming from in that, like, do you want me to now come and cry and cut myself open because I'm eliminated? Like, I can't do anything. Like, stuff like this keeps happening to me. Like, I have to just keep rolling with the punches. That is essentially what she was saying. But Tyra didn't really hear it like that. Tyra heard it in, I've poured so much time and effort into you and you could have won this show. And this is how, like, you just give up. You're not taking it seriously. You're not patting. Like, you don't want it bad enough. That whole, I'm rooting for you. How dare you? This is some really powerful language. It's really giving, I made you, don't you dare defy me. It's kind of like, who do you think you are? It was like I just eliminated you. Why are you not crying? You are not dealing with this in the way that you should based on everything I've done for you. And I think that is where the anger was stemming from. It was very degrading, actually. I also kind of think it was a bit of a power trip because Tiffany was actually speaking. If you watch the clip back, Tiffany was talking. Tyra wanted to cut in front of her and Tiffany didn't stop talking because, sorry, I'm talking. Just because you start talking while I'm talking doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking. Can we be for real? And the reason she started shouting is because Tiffany didn't back down. Like, she didn't just stop. Tiffany was like, nah, man. Like, no. Another thing, I'm really glad they touched on the fact that America's Next Top Model slowly and surely started to just deteriorate. I remember all of these not random, but I remember all of these like specific cycles. Like, I remember the petite cycle when all of the models were shorter. I remember the boys and girls one. I really remember the American and the British invasion one. I literally remember all of that in real time. Me and my sister still to this day quote the songs that they sang in the British version and the British invasion cycle, because I'm not sure if that was when they started with this pot leadem stuff or if that was just in the thick of it all. But that pot leadem era was interesting because, like, what made you go with that? Pot leadem is top model backwards. What are we doing? The way America's Next Top Model went out sad was disappointing but kind of inevitable. By constantly trying to raise the stakes, be more entertaining and create more drama, the show's initial essence and vision was completely distorted and eventually lost. There were many nails in the coffin aside from the awful treatment of the models and contestants. Some of these nails in the coffin were J Manuel losing creative direction, Jay and Tyra's friendship breakdown as well, the new network president, the Jays and Nigel getting fired, Pot Leadem because it got super weird and like really edgy but not in a good way, then finally removing Tyra as the host. I don't know why they thought that that show could run without Tyra. Let's all be so for real. Tyra is America's Next Top Model. Like, no. I think they put Rita Ora. All right. So, like I said earlier, E is releasing a docu-series and it's called Dirty Rotten Scandals. And the point of it is to shine a light on the darker side of television. It features Dr. Phil, America's Next Top Model, and The Price is Right. So, let me know what you guys think of this video. Let's talk in the comments. What do you guys think was the worst thing that they spoke about in the documentary? What are some questions you would ask Tyra? Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. There's always content there. There's always TV show content, my takes, things like that. You will always find me on the Clock app. Let me know what shows you guys have been watching recently as well, because I really I'm back. I'm back in my TV show bag. Like, I know I was gone for a while. I know there was some years I lost myself, but I'm back. Okay, let me know what shows you're watching in the comments. I'm always down to watch some new TV shows. I think I'm currently watching Steel. I think I've got like 1 episode left or something like that. It's on Amazon Prime. And I'm also watching Industry, which is on BBC iPlayer. Guys, I'm so happy to be back doing long form content, sitting down, talking to the camera about a topic, just having fun and being a YouTuber again. I feel like I became a vlogger for a really long time, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm never going to stop vlogging. I used to do so much more than that. And that's what I mean. Like, I lost myself, guys. Like, if you guys still care, if my subscribers are still there and still care about me, I can do a life update. Like, much has happened. Guys, I met Sierra. Crazy work. 2026, MNIA. Get to know if you don't already know. You're gonna see me everywhere. Get me on a red carpet. Get me in press junkets. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. God bless and peace out. Bye. Comes to that time. I haven't done that in ages. Goddamn. Guys, do you like my hair? I did it myself. There's edges there, by the way. It's just ginger. Like, I did my hair myself. If this audio is pants, I'm gonna be fuming. Yeah, guys, look. Like, I'm so cool. Right. It's 1:35 a.m. I've got work tomorrow, so let's go to bed.